Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Ultra Romantic. But today, we're going to be checking out episode 9, and last time, on episode 8, there was some very, very big developments there, alongside some very nice and simple, light-hearted segments. Such as the first segment, which was just dedicated entirely to Kei and Miyuki, where Miyuki wanted to accompany Kei to her school festival, so we could get some ideas for their own, but Kei was worried that he might embarrass her if he'd kinda, were to show up dressed like a middle school edgelord. So she helped him out, gave him what she considered some more suitable clothes, and even his dad helped him out too by lending him his special moon watch, but Kei didn't seem to appreciate it that much, but I did. But besides that, the big important thing that happened last episode was that Kaguya finally admitted to somebody that she is in love with Miyuki. Until now, she had never really even come close to saying something like that, but she just flat out says to Hayasaka that she loves him. So despite her trying to do one last sneaky attempt at confessing to him without really confessing to him, it seems like now she wants to make a final move. She's gonna try to confess to him outright at the festival. And she's not the only one who wants to confess at the festival. Ishigami also plans to confess to Tsubame as well. We got a whole little segment about that where he doesn't feel too confident in it, but he also knows that if he doesn't confess to her, he's going to be kicking himself the rest of his life. He's just got to take the chance and give it his best shot. He did get a little bit more confidence because he thought that she might have been going out with this other guy who was in the cheer squad, but no, he's with somebody else at the moment. So he thought that improved his chances at least a little bit. But we all know what's going to be interesting about this is that Miyuki also planned to confess to Kaguya at the festival if she didn't confess to him, and, well, now they both have plans to confess to each other. Really wonder how that's gonna play out. But now, starting with episode 9, as I've said a bajillion times at this point, we're going to be using the official Crunchyroll subs for this one because DJM didn't make any past episode 8. Now, there was one last interesting translation choice that we had just right at the end of episode 8 that I gotta talk about. One of you guys pointed it out, that it refers to this arc as the Two Confessions arc, when apparently, according to one of y'all, it's more accurate to call it the Dual Confessions arc. Which, yes, that essentially means the same thing, but there are some different connotations to the word dual compared to just saying the two. Some connotations that could be very interesting for a certain theory of mine. That aside, with these new subs, I'm sure I'm going to notice some changes in approach pretty quickly here, given how often people talk about the differences in their translation choices. So, in any case, let's just stop chatting away and begin episode 9. We've all waited long enough for this. Let's head in. To continue what I was saying, it gives us a whole new perspective on how the series begins, because, Miyuki and Kaguya, both of them, were making such a big deal about that whole, whoever, falls in love first, they lose, so I'm gonna not fall in love. Well, unfortunately, Miyuki was already screwed right out of the gate with that. Of course, whether or not he actually realizes that, or if that's just something that only we know now, I'm not sure. I'm sure the thought is on his mind, and at this point, I bet he would be willing to admit to himself that, yeah, he did in fact fall in love first. Can't say for sure, but what really matters is that whole perspective is a bunch of bunk anyway, so don't worry, Miyuki. You haven't lost just because you became infatuated with her first. You'll be fine. But beyond that, the segment was also really cool because it gave us more perspective into what Miyuki was like before he became student council president, because we didn't get a whole lot of information about that, and what's cool about it is that as unsure of himself as he currently is, he used to be even worse. Like current Miyuki, we never really got any indication that he necessarily put himself down too much for his social status. It didn't really seem to get in his way all that much outside of, him thinking that maybe he shouldn't be with Kaguya, but otherwise it didn't really seem to occupy that much of his mind. But the fact that early on he felt like he might not have really belonged there and that people were shunning him, it makes sense. But he did learn a very important lesson, that you can't let your doubts stand in your way, because he learned that front and center right there when he could have just dived into the water to help save them, that if you see something that needs to be done and you know it, you can't let your doubts stop you. Because really, I got the feeling that that's what they were going for, that the reason Miyuki was unhappy and he didn't feel like he really fit in at the school was because of his doubts. That was what was holding him back. But yeah, the first segment was really good. We got some much needed perspective on Miyuki's past, and we got to see a little bit more of what Kaguya was like back then, which, to be fair, we've gotten a lot more of that from her than we've gotten with Miyuki, but we definitely got it in full effect here, with her trying to justify diving into the water to save that girl. I was like, oh, you know, I could get a favor from her afterwards, as if anybody would dive into a pool of disgusting moss just for nothing, right? Anybody who would do that, I could never get along with them. But then we got the second segment, which was just Kaguya's running with those two connoisseurs that Fujiwara ran into at the ramen place. Only now they were trying to show off their knowledge about coffees and tea. And I don't know what was up with Miyuki's dad here. I barely recognized him. I mean, geez. What the heck, man? But then we got ourselves segment 3. Now I don't know which I liked more, the first segment or the third. It's hard to say. I think just on a character development level, the first segment might have been better, but the third one, I don't know. I think I like it more on a personal level. Because Ishigami needed a hand, and then everybody who they had previously given some relationship advice to showed up to back him up. Maki, Tsubasa, and Kashiwagi all joined forces to help Ishigami ask out Tsubame. And damn if I wasn't hyped that he was successful. He asked her out to the haunted house, she agreed, and they ran off happily. It's gonna be great. Of course, whether or not she will return his feelings when he confesses to her is still unknown. It's not guaranteed at this point, obviously not. And who knows, maybe he won't even be able to build up the courage to confess to her. I really hope he does, but... So yeah, segment 3 is really fun too. And I feel bad for poor Maki, being put in that awkward situation where the guy that she's crushing on was right there, being lovey-dovey with his girlfriend. She's got it rough. But hey, at least Ishigami can learn from her mistake. She's made it perfectly clear to him, don't end up like me. You can't just drag your feet, man. And what's this? Next episode, the first years attack Kaguya and Maki? Why? Ah well, dang, this was a great episode to give us really cool character stuff all across the board for just friggin' everybody, man. We had Miyuki stuff, Kaguya stuff, Ishigami stuff. What more could you ask for? Although strangely, there was an absence of Fujiwara. I mean, she was in it for like 2 seconds, I think. Maybe, but maybe not even that. Yeah, I don't know if she was in this one. They referenced her though. Anyway, I think that's about all I gotta say for now, guys, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That'd be great. Next time, we check out episode 10. We're really moving into the last of it here, guys. 10, 11, 12, and that's all we got for Kaguya. But things are really gearing up fast. Miyuki and Kaguya haven't exactly made a move yet, but Ishigami is on the path to victory. I hope. I'll try to have the next video out as soon as I can. It should be easier because I'm pretty much done with the Halloween video that I've been working on. That's why there wasn't one until today, by the way. It's because I've been diligently working on a Halloween video for the gaming channel. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, great episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. But till we meet again, I will see you guys later.